Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cult Classic Podcast. Cameron Jones here with my co-host,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones.
It is the season. We are keeping up with Cult Classic tradition of giving you a baseball movie in the spring, summertime. So we're not...
Even though you already know what it is by clicking on the actual episode. I bet you're surprised. I bet maybe you haven't seen it.
These intros mean nothing. But I do them anyway for the people, Jordan. For the people, it's the 1994 movie, Little Big League. When the owner of the Minnesota Twins baseball team suddenly dies, he leaves the team to his grandson, Billy, a devoted baseball fan who has an impressive understanding of the game's history and mechanics, even though he's flunking algebra. Dedicating the season to his late grandfather, 12-year-old Billy must juggle his life as a kid and his work on the road. With a reluctant team that doesn't want to take orders from Billy, he has to find a way to bring his team together while trying to find time for his friends at home. If you've already seen The Sandlot, Angels in the Outfield, and Rookie of the Year, then you don't need to watch Little Big League.
Directed by Andrew Scheinman, starring Luke Edwards as Billy Haywood, Timothy Busfield as Luke Collins, John Ashton as Mac McNally, Kevin Dunn as Arthur Goslin.
This movie feels like the unchaperoned version of Rookie of the Year, but don't worry, I'm sure we'll have plenty to say about that later.
This is the answer to, hey, can we make Rookie of the Year at this studio? We sure can.
The Deep Impact to Armageddon.
That's the answer.
The Minnesota Twins baseball team just got a new owner.
So it's another kid gets an absurd amount of responsibility and needs to juggle that with being a kid. We had a bunch of those in the 90s, it feels like.
It's 1993, and you make the most reasonable decision. Let him manage the team, for Christ's sake.
Let him play.
Kids play.
Let him play.
So this movie, in my opinion, might not be great, but it is a nostalgic movie from the 90s, so you might have that for you.
Major League is about to experience a minor problem, and he's 12 years old.
Little Big League.
All right, on to cast and crew. This movie is directed by Andrew Scheinman. Appears to be his only movie. He's
one and only, a one and doneer, huh?
One and only.
I actually think it's called Your Life's Work. When you nail it, you fucking quit. You
Your
know,
life's work.
Yeah, it's going to be something sad. He's actually dead, guys. That was
it's
probably like
Sistine
just the
Chapel.
end of his career.
He did produce a couple other films that you've heard of: When Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men, and Stand By Me.
So major movies. That's odd.
So he produced those. Writer Gregory K. Pincus wrote a few Disney Channel original movies that you will recognize: Alley Cat Strike,
Just watched that the other night.
Quince, Picture Perfect, and he also did the animated Godzilla series.
Huh.
Real quick thing about Alley Cat Strike: no way that little trick, the spin ball trick, is going to work.
Oh no, the spin at the end to get
You
that
can't pick
split.
up the
You can't do
7-10
that. You
split.
can't pick up that split.
If you're a little bit older than these two or way younger, just like me, I don't know what Alley Cat Strike is at all.
That's a bowling
It's
movie.
fine. Billy Haywood, this is the main little kid who ends up inheriting the team, is played by Luke Edwards. He's in Newsies.
That's who? He's not one of the mains.
No, he's a
No.
little brother.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, man.
Oh shit, my bad. Then he is a main.
He is a man.
Oh, he
He's like,
grew up a little bit.
shine your shoes for papers, miss, or something, whatever. They're trying to breed him.
Well, I know his best role.
Yeah, it's Billy Hayward.
Luke Collins is played by Timothy Busfield. He's in The West Wing and Field of Dreams.
You remember him
He
from
seemed
the
really
90s.
familiar. Yeah.
He's a brother-in-law from the Field of Dreams.
I'm going to kind of go through these quick just because there is a lot of them. Some
Keep it moving.
Yeah, go through it.
John Ashton is played by Mac McNally. He's in Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. Ashley Crowe is the mom, Jenny Haywood. She's in Minority Report, Heroes, and The Good Son.
Oh, Heroes. She's the wife. Yeah, that's where I know her from.
Arthur Goslin is played by Kevin Dunn. Small Soldiers, Transformers.
I mean, Transformers. He's the fun dad in a lot of things.
He's the
know
dad,
who he
yeah.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Small Soldiers comes up a surprisingly amount of this
It's because of me.
He does get his way into Oval Offices and security things in movies a lot, like a general kind of vibe.
No, I understand that you guys like Small Soldiers, but what I'm saying is that a lot of people in the movies we've done either worked on the production of Small Soldiers or were in Small Soldiers.
It does come up a lot.
Crazy.
It really
Got
is
a lot
weird.
of tentacles.
Like more than I would imagine, and probably the listeners like, yeah, I guess it does come up every third episode.
Jonathan Silverman plays Jim Bowers. Weekend at Bernie's and Good Girls is what I just saw him in. Let's see. Michael Papajohn plays Tucker Kane.
Cool name.
Name.
No relation, I believe.
To Papa John?
Yeah, that one aged poorly. He's like, I'm Mr. Papa John, but then like Papa John got real racist outward and everything. He's like, oh.
Little small role from Jeff Garlin at the beginning. He plays like one of the little league coaches.
Yeah, a little cameo.
Oh
there.
yeah, that did jump off the
Robards.
screen to me.
Is that about it? I mean, it is a big cast. It's a baseball
that's about-
movie.
I mean-
So anytime you have a team or like a war movie, I mean, it's a ton of people, but
I'm pretty sure the whole like Indiana, Cleveland Indians are just themselves.
yeah, that
And
makes.
obviously
I feel
Ken
like
Griffey
twins.
Jr., Randy Johnson. What is it? Run Around Sue montage. Like the whole opposing team is just
all
like
the
team.
Oh, that's cool.
real
Yeah.
decade accurate baseball teams. So that's
Did you list the Grandpa Jason Robards?
Oh no, I didn't.
He's in a bunch of stuff, but he played the grandpa in like Parenthood,
which is what I
He's in
know
a
him
bunch
from
of
the most. Yeah.
westerns. Anyway,
Jason
I like that
Robards.
dude.
Yeah, Thomas Haywood. Huh? I missed that one.
Mhm.
Should we?
That's it.
Should we move it on to Unverified? Welcome to Unverified and Cult Classics Movie Phone. It's June 29th, 1994, and currently in theaters you could have seen The Lion King. Might have been my first movie in theaters, actually.
Solid.
It's one of my earlier ones for sure.
Speed with Keanu Reeves. Go back and check out our Speed episode.
Cons.
Cans.
Wyatt Earp, the Western. City Slickers 2. Not bad. And
It stinks.
And I'm also seeing here Shazam with Sinbad was released in June of 1994.
Wait.
sure it wasn't
Nope.
with Shaq.
What was it? Kazam?
Moviephone.com.
Cameron, there-
Moviephone.com lists Shazam with Sinbad, and I sent you all the photo like a couple days ago.
There's no Shazam with.
Shut up. No.
Are you thinking that it's 1994's first?
No,
kid?
I sent you guys
With,
the picture and I highlighted it with an arrow. I've sent you the proof. It's on. It might not be real, but it's online.
Well, it's fake. Don't believe everything you said, and that goes double for anything we say in this podcast. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a fucking salt. What are they? A salt
lick.
mine? Take a lot of salt.
So that's what you could have seen, but you decided to see Little Big League. So what do you guys have for fun facts on this one?
The broadcaster in this movie is the actual Minnesota Twins broadcaster up until 2011.
That's fun.
His name's John Gordon, and it's got one of my favorite moments. Obviously, in these baseball movies, there's a lot of funny banter for the broadcaster, but it's just funny how they actually tell a stat. They're like, that's the longest hitting streak in the month of July between the 12th and the 3rd.
Yeah.
It's just, the way that grew on me is like, they nailed it there.
Kind of a similar with that. Scott Patterson, who played the Twins pitcher Mike McGreevy, he actually was a professional baseball player, minor league level and major league organizations during the 80s prior to becoming an actor.
Oh, yeah. So he's the guy at the end with the mustache that.
The one that looks like he actually has
hit.
pitching form.
Yeah, but he looks like he's 54.
He definitely,
Like he would have been
he
retired.
definitely looks a little
for sure.
off for sure. I didn't find too many notes. What else do you guys have on this one?
I thought McGreevy was the asshole who was kind of like trying to like make Billy look bad.
Yeah. Oh,
Is that
no,
it's the mustache
it's
guy?
I think it's a handlebar
Handlebar
mustache guy.
The guy who makes like a dip gumball and puts it all in his
Yep.
mouth.
That's the guy.
Yep. Definitely didn't understand what that was as a kid, but I know now. The movie was originally based. The team they were going to choose was the Kansas City Royals. But the reason they switched it to the Minnesota Twins is because they had a dome and it would be easier to shoot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're like, we can just shoot whenever we want.
And
now.
I mean, honestly, the
There you go.
location between Kansas City and Minnesota doesn't matter too much for me. I mean, it's not like it's not like we're taking an iconic like Yankees kind of team or like the Cubbies or something like that or Red Sox.
It's always interesting to me when movies just take real teams instead of just making like I don't know,
Making a make
probably
believe
easier.
team.
I like
I
it.
do too. I like
with
it better,
real
I
It
teams.
adds to
I
the
think it's better.
believability. It's better.
Sort of going with the dome. At the time, it was shared by the Twins, the Vikings, and the Gophers football teams. And you can see the yard lines in the movie, which is kind of. I always remember watching like Raiders games when I was younger, and when they'd play like on the A's infield.
I hated those because they had the dirt. I'm like, why are you
Yeah,
making
no, it was
these
super
guys
weird.
play on
Yeah,
dirt?
it is weird.
I hated
It's always
it.
been weird to
I
me.
think they did it in Denver too. I feel like that's right. But.
You don't want to share a baseball field with anything. Just let it be a baseball field. It doesn't work for all these
So
other
this is maybe the biggest actual fact of the movie, but direct quote here from IMDb. In the climatic scene with Ken Griffey Jr. getting thrown out due to the hidden ball trick, the play is legal. Despite many viewers claiming it isn't, he began on the rubber holding the ball, and then when he feigns the throw, he first steps off the rubber, which means he's allowed to fake a throw, or even just
It's not a balk
or even
or
just
whatever.
walk around. It's faking the throw. Therefore, is not a balk. At the time, was called by. So apparently, that is a legal trick that they did in the script and did in the movie.
That's what I like. They're not dicking us around.
I've seen
I
that
feel like
done
this
before.
is-
Really?
Really?
I've never seen a trick play in baseball. I've only seen a boring slogan.
Look him up. There's a bunch, not necessarily from the pitching mound, but like let's say like the second baseman has the ball and they fake passing it back to the pitcher, and some guy just kind of like cleans his pants off or something, steps off the bag, they tag him real quick. So it definitely does happen.
Guess who's looking up a montage of those clips in a second?
There's a Batman fact because
Yeah.
do you have that one, Jordan?
Yeah, so when they're having the conversation at McDonald's,
Oh,
and I
right.
can't remember which one of the friends asked, is like, you think Batman goes through the drive-through? Well, in Batman Forever, just 1 year later, in 1995, Batman himself references going through the drive-through. Not necessarily McDonald's, but there you go.
I didn't have anything else. There weren't like a ton of
Yeah, I didn't
facts
either.
on this one, but I think it's because it's not a great movie and there's not much on it. So, with that said, do you guys want to move on to questions?
Comments.
Animosities. All right, so I'm going to take this right off the bat. Cameron just ended the last segment saying that this isn't a good movie. I actually want to say I think this is a really good movie.
No.
And I'm in favor of it. And you guys aren't going to agree, and that's okay. And this is where I want to go. Do you like it or dislike it? First time viewing?
Honestly, this was my first time viewing. Somehow I missed it. And comparing it to the ones that are similar to it, I didn't like it as much as the other ones. But I think a big portion of that is the nostalgia built into it,
Yeah.
It's hard to battle that.
Can I say the two things I really like about this movie in compared to its strong counterpart, which is Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year's got more like gimmicks, goofs, and it's funnier, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as a kid, I loved that this had so many baseball facts. That was fun as a kid. I was big into that, just like sports facts. But two, I think it's actually way more of a believable premises. I think that like a 12-year-old kid would be a great manager for a baseball team because you're so invested in the sport at that time.
I will say maybe that idea
Whereas
more
like
so
a
than some
4-foot
medical
kid,
stuff.
I don't care if he's got you can't pitch that fast. That just pissed me off.
Yeah, well, I mean, there would always just be the legal things. Like, this would never happen. But I do like the feasibility of, he would know all the history and the mechanics because he's super into it because he's a kid.
I think it's got sick cameos. Got Ken Griffey Jr. at the prime time of him. Randy Johnson. That was awesome. Who doesn't like those
Oh,
cameos?
Boomer. We forgot Chris Berman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That might be that was a shout out. Okay, so.
I will say, though, it is much more adult than some of the other ones. There's there's a lot more swearing in this. I mean, as a lot of these 90 movies do, it's aged a little poorly. And even that Batman scene we were referencing, they throw a hard R in there. But I mean, most of the 90s movies we
that
Dropped
did
the
it.
R word, yeah.
They dropped it
caught me
pretty
off guard. I'm
hardcore.
like, is that written into the script?
They always
Jesus.
do. They always catch you off on the 90s movies. You're like, oh, we're dropping a hard R and F in here. Oh, didn't see that coming. But I mean,
Yeah, but that one really came out of left field. I didn't.
Apart from,
I mean, most of the time it does, though. Most of the time it does.
apart from that, though, I mean, there's the porno scene. He's just not supervised at all. There are just more adulty themes in this than Rookie of the Year. And granted, I think that's a Disney movie, maybe, but
I believe, Cameron, you referenced this earlier when we were talking about it. You're like, I've never seen a player that's gonna screw somebody's mom
I've never gotten I'm gonna fuck your mom's harder vibes than any other kids movie. It's not like hey, I have a crush on your mom, I have a romantic interest. It's pretty clear from the beginning. It's like, hey, I'm gonna bone your mom.
I'm gonna fuck your mom.
I'm gonna fuck your mom. There's nothing you can do
almost
about
tell
it.
it's not a Disney movie. You'd think this would be a Disney type of movie, but because of all the baseball facts and because of all the actual fundamentals and strategy of the sport of baseball,
It's a Warner Brothers. It is a Warner Brothers movie.
Okay.
it almost does lend itself to be more it's not an adult movie, but like,
to reference it to a Disney movie though, Mighty Ducks. What's the kid that's like doesn't have a dad?
Charlie.
Banksy.
Oh man, Banks would have been like, "You can definitely f my mom." Like, yeah,
You can
no.
move him.
Banks has a mom. Charlie, sorry,
yeah, Charlie.
not Banks. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Charlie's like, "You can fuck my mom," and I'd prefer that you did.
Okay, just real quick, taking it back to the very beginning of the movie, it's just kind of upset. There's three adults that can't figure out, like, there's three kids on the base. You assume that one is an umpire.
Oh, that pissed me
He
off.
should know the rules, and the other two coaches, like, no one can figure. Like, I don't play baseball, I don't watch it, but I feel like I kind of just know that. There's the guy, and everyone else is out.
just like, he's like, they're all out, they're all safe. Well, neither of those is a logical answer.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
Neither
you
of those
had
make
to have
sense
watched.
at all.
Yeah, that kind of made me mad, but that's just a throwaway. But so the main thing I kind of want to talk about, he doesn't seem like he would be a manager. They seem just like middle class, and there's a disconnect, and there usually is in movies where like this is.
Oh,
this,
you're
this is
saying that his grandpa doesn't seem like an owner, like he's rich?
Well, even in Billy, it doesn't seem like they're related to the owner of a baseball team. And I get that a lot of these movies, you want it to be believable and relatable, so you don't want him to be like a shitty rich kid, but he
Right.
seems a little too average, you know?
We
Yep.
assume that the grandpa is the dad, who's
Yeah.
I'm guessing
K-
dead.
k-
His
they
parent,
make
right?
a comment at the beginning. He's like, you need to move off of my son and like find someone new.
Like first baseman Lou Collins.
Sure does.
But I don't know. That didn't. I mean, they seem pretty middle class, comfortable.
But even just like on top of that, like Billy and the grandpa walk to the stadium from the house. Like they're taking a car. Like he's rich. He's an owner. Like I get it. You're normalizing him, but it kind of upset me a little bit.
Yeah. Plus Minnesota, I don't think has like public transit or anything like that. I don't know where the Metro Dome.
you wanted to
used
see
be.
him a little more cake eater-ish.
Yeah, a tiny bit. If you were going to make this a little believable, if that first baseman's going to fuck his mom, like, I don't know, maybe just like have him in a nice house too. I will say though, having said all that, Billy has the best life ever. That's just a great start. Like not getting
That's
the
a great
manager
present.
and the ownership. He has a great life.
You're
I'm
saying
starting to think
prior
there's
to
some-
that, his life is cushy.
Yeah.
You just having a grandpa that's an owner.
Yeah, going to games all the time. It's a pretty good start, like without all that crazy stuff.
We don't know what happened to Grandpa.
He died.
I'm thinking Lou had something to do with this.
That could be, or maybe that angry manager trying to, get him off his
My
back.
guess is more eyes wide shut type situation.
Heart attack in some sort of weird sex party.
Yeah, weird sex orgy, eyes wide shut stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
the
that's what I had
classic.
in my notes, but I'm open to debate. I do want to say, Jason Robards, I really like that dude as a grandpa. I know he's in other things,
I will say,
like Parenthood.
having this was my first time watching it, and I am a big fan of Parenthood just because that was a nostalgic watch for me as a kid. So seeing him as the grandpa again is like, all right, I'm in. Okay. I mean, I read the description, so I knew he was about to die, but
Yeah, I don't know how rich he'd have to be, but he would be like, I guess maybe in the 90s, not a billionaire, but to own a pro team at any standpoint.
yeah, very rich. At least you have to be pretty wealthy. So let's just talk about this. I mean, comment, animosity. Billy would not have any part of that team until he's 18. He wouldn't be able to be the owner. He wouldn't be able to manage. He wouldn't be able to do shit. Like, granted, this mostly takes place during summer once again, like Rookie of the Year and the other one. So there's only a little bit of school crossover. But doesn't it kind of seem like, does Billy just drop out at some point?
Yeah, what happened there?
As far as I'm concerned, if you already own a team, you don't have to go to school anymore. Plus, he was probably going to inherit that anyway. It seems like he's the only grandchild, at least that we're seeing, right? So what would you do if you inherited the team? Would you sell it right away? Would you just dick around? Like, what would you do? I assume you probably
I mean,
sell it
for
on your own.
baseball, you'd keep the team.
Yeah,
You'd keep the
I mean,
team.
I don't like baseball, but I'd still keep the team because who doesn't want to be the owner of any sort of team? I'm going to definitely get weird as far as my promotional nights, and I'm going to make a show of it, like semi-pro with Will Ferrell, kind of. But like, it's going to be a lot of fun.
You're going to be
you're gonna
really
run-
involved.
Oh,
You're going to run it into the ground.
or I'm going to make it more money than ever before. Like, we might not get like league association anymore, and I might have to make my own pop-up teams to play each other at this point. But it's going to be a show.
So here's the animosity. All right, obviously you would not. I mean, a kid could inherit a team, but they wouldn't get to manage it till they're 18,
Yeah.
right? But let's assume that you can. He needs a chaperone on the road. It's ignorant that they didn't.
That is
Give him
the
one.
Because
craziest
he's
part.
ordering pornos, like he's the same porno too. That really
You better just
frustrated
be
me.
thankful that all he's doing is ordering porn. You know what I mean?
Well, this is year one. I mean, he's still gonna. I mean, I'm sure in like a year and a half, he's gonna be into the
so
hard
okay,
stuff.
how old is Billy supposed to be? Like a preteen or like 12?
Yeah, I would just
He's
guess
12.
12.
So I thought about this the other day in preparation for this. This would be a really fun movie to see what he does with the team when he's like 16 and all emo and like pissed off at it. Like, Lou, his stepdad for banging his mom and all that shit. That's when he's really going to run the team into the ground.
Or do you want to see, or I guess it is just the movie Moneyball. Maybe we just see him like as an adult trying this. And he's like, I just don't have it in my heart anymore. I do not care about this.
Well, right now he's got all that youthful interest that you have in sports.
That's what I'm
or whatever
saying.
your
Let's
hobby
fast
is
forward
as a
30
kid.
years to see him broken.
Oh, no, that's going to happen. No, he's not going to be broken. He's going to sell his team.
That's true.
And just
Be
be
fine.
coasting. Like, his life is made.
Yeah, that's what I mean. From the beginning, that's what I'm saying. He has the best out of everybody. I mean,
He's 4 years away from the home run series between like the 60 home runs getting broke. Sell it there at the top, man. Juicing up baseballs, hell yeah.
and I mean, the rookie, the kid, like he loses his power. He's never going back into that money in professional sports again. Maybe as a physical trainer.
He did get a stepdad as well. He gets a retired burnout.
Okay.
Had to get Tommy John surgery.
This is jumping to the end, but I have to touch on that. That is such a weird part of this kids movie where at the end he's like, hey, I'm going to ask your mom to marry you. I know this is a very high tense moment, but I think now's the time to ask your permission to marry your mom. And even weirder that's like, hey, hit me a home run. And he fails. How funny it would be if he's like, well, you didn't hit it, Lou. I guess you can't fuck my mom. And it looks like you're not getting your signing bonus either, are you, Lou?
Well, here's the deal. He can marry his mom all he wants, but then you can just trade him to any team. Well, any team that'll have him.
Which is also a very weird point that Thomas signed Lou at 17 and never traded him. He's been on that team for like 20 fucking years, judging by the looks of him.
So that's an animosity I have with most kid sports movies, but sports movies in general. I did look up Lou's age. He is only like 35, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm 35. He looks way older than me, but so I think technically he could be playing. But you know what else I looked up? I'm like, Jesus Christ, he looks like the shortest first baseman in the world, who are normally tall people. Mm-hmm. He's 5'10", which is also my height. Huh. It was really
eye-opening for you.
Just a shot to me. I just like man down. I'm like, I can't take this.
This is the kids baseball movie I've seen the least, probably.
I would say that too.
It probably goes Angels in the Outfield, Rookie of the Year.
I mean, Sandlot for sure is in there.
Sandlot, yeah, okay.
So I've seen Sandlot the most, Rookie of the Year just because it was on TV more. I have seen this more than Angels in the Outfield, but that's because I sought it out. I really like this movie, and I don't think that there's a lot of people that like it. I might have had it recorded, too, at our home, like from TV.
And somehow, once again, I still missed it. Here's something that is very annoying about Billy. Just a comment. He's always bringing up school references and analogies. We get it. You're 12. How about you just break it down in just layman's terms, you dickweed? I don't want to hear about your math problems.
Before the grandpa died, it was the same thing. He was like, well, if I'm not around here much longer, he should go to the game and see Roger Clemens pitch. But it's like, he just kept bringing it. He kept hammering it home like he was just going to.
How old do you think his grandpa was supposed to be?
90.
Because he looked 100, but I bet he was like 64.
Yeah,
Times were different. You saw the Golden Girls the way they used to look.
Throwaway mean animosity comment. Hair and makeup could not get rid of that kid's unibrow. That's all. Sorry.
It was the 90s. You let it ride.
It just bugs me. Just come on. What do we?
He's a bad actor.
So,
just
the kid?
Yeah, bad actor. He ain't no JGL. That's all.
Oh God, no.
I do want to say, and this is maybe this is a fast forward ahead to next year. I did rewatch Angels in the Outfield. We may have been giving him too much credit for his acting skill.
Yeah.
Okay. It actually just came on TNT. I watched it this weekend in case we had to make a pivot. And that's a weird one. That's a weird fucking movie.
That is a weird one.
This is okay. Yeah, I'm getting the vibes that I like this movie a lot more than you.
A little bit.
And that's cool. That's cool. But those two friends of Billy's, I think they're pretty funny. And that whole Lowell plot line, that third friend, I think that's pretty spot on with kids. How you treat one of your friends with disrespect just because they're smaller or something.
That is something
I gotta go. I'm sitting on Jeremy.
Yeah. That is something I felt bad about, but I was like, wow, they really kind of nailed what it is to be either the new kid in or just the smaller kid in the group.
It turns out he's pretty good once you let him talk. It's funny, though, that Billy would be like, who the fuck is Lowell?
Yeah, I do like those little parts.
Solid little shout out to their little fishing spot. That just reeks of movies from our kid time. I feel like they throw in a fishing scene in all types of movies.
Rookie of the Year literally has the same thing with their whole boat thing.
Yep.
We are right now in the sweet spot, though, from like 92 to 90, probably 6 of every kid movie, sports movie that came out. You got Sandlot, Rookie of the Year, this,
Little
the
Giants
Big
is probably
Green, the
in there.
Little
All the
Giants.
football ones,
It's
yeah.
all of them.
Yeah, it is really the heyday.
Mighty Ducks. Yep.
If you're wondering, are we ever going to do Little Giants? We might, but it'll only be Cameron and Mark talking about it because I'll abstain in silence. I hate that movie.
Didn't we do Little Giants?
Yeah, I thought so too. No.
Oh, sorry. No, my bad.
Big Green.
Big Green.
That's what somebody says.
Hey, go back and listen to our Little Giants episode. We're real chatty.
The only saving grace about Big Green is Danny Tamborelli. No, it's not even Danny Tamborelli. It's the ham.
It's whoever the great
Hambino.
Hambino is.
Yeah, Hambino.
So just a comment, and the pacing feels weird in this for some reason, especially around the middle. I feel like the Rookie of the Year has a little more concise, but I feel like we're just getting too much of, well, I get it.
Nope, it's the exact same movie. You just are missing the comic relief of the dude, Daniel Stern. That's a big thing. He's keeping like those in-between scenes going. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same movie. Do you want to know one big difference? In most sports movies, kids movies, there's an antagonist. There's no antagonist in this movie. There's no bad person to root against or anything except, the pressure of the job.
That's true.
I think that's what it's missing. You need a bad person in a kid's movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Act 2, it's little Billy's attitude. Forgets how to be a kid.
He's the
But
problem.
that also happens in Rookie of the Year. He gets burnt out, he loses his friends. The exact same plot line. We just don't have all those side characters. Richard, it's all the same.
I mean,
It's no difference. But you know what it does have that every baseball movie, little kids movie, we're playing a pickup game in the streets. We're playing a pickup game on the field. That's how we learn we want to be kids again.
Animosity,
Once we
the way
realize
he
what we're
says,
missing.
if I was Billy Haywood, do you think I'd be here with you fucking street urchins? And then the kid's just like, yeah, we are pretty trashy. That kind of hurt.
We are poor.
Yeah, jeez, Billy.
No, you'd probably be in a hotel room right now watching porn. He's like, you're goddamn right,
That's
I would.
later. Same porn movie. You got to switch it up, I think.
The last thing I really have is animosity.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Mark. I mean, this is probably his first solo porn experience, although he is an only child, so I'm sure he's just...
I get it, but Night Nurses from New Jersey doesn't even sound that enticing.
No.
We're just not into public servants like night nurses.
Yeah.
All right.
Just animosity. The crowd would not be waiting for Billy at the end. He lost the game. They're not going to...
Yeah,
the novelty's over.
I mean, he didn't lose the game. Lou lost the game.
True. But I mean, you already saw the novelty of him out there. I'm not sticking around. There's no reason for him to come back. He's going to be there next year. He still owns the team. He just won't be on the team.
I mean, no, he just won't be.
Until he gets old enough to start playing, then he might get on the team.
That kid can't play.
It's true.
This happens sometimes in movies, more often than not, actually. You want to see the win, but then you have the humbling ending, Moneyball ending, where it's and they didn't quite do it, but they got there. It was about the memories we made along the way. What do we think about those endings?
Does it make for a better movie from a technical standpoint? Yeah, but do I want them to win every time?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And does it piss me off that they lose? Oh, you bet.
It's very rarely I can handle a sad ending like that where I don't get my victory in the sunset. I need it kind of.
Rookie of the Year. He shows you the ring at the end.
Yeah,
he shows you
he got the damn
World Series.
thing.
They give it all to you.
Yeah, I need that happy ending. That might be part of it. I will say though, this movie does have a pretty killer freeze frame.
Does this one end in a freeze frame?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You got to. That's
You
just
gotta
what
love a freeze
all
frame.
of them?
I think all
of them do.
Pretty much every '90s kid movie ends with a triumphant Breakfast Club fist in the air freeze frame. Yeah.
Don't you?
Little side comment. Little Chuck has obviously been watching too much TV Land because he brings up Jed Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies and Gilligan's Island. I mean, he's been binging that TV Land.
I love it.
I gotta say, those two are fucking funny. They almost remind me. I feel like in my mind while I'm watching it, they grow into be you remember those two guys in the Sonic commercials? Just had a real good rapport. That's what I got. If I could recast those two, that's what I want to do. I feel like that. They had they were the best two kids, friends in any of these sports movies.
It is weird how much you like those Sonic guys. That's all.
I'm just saying that they're one of the best comedic duos and commercials of all time. Maybe the best.
I'll give him that.
Go back and watch them.
I gave it to him. What do you want from me? I gave it to him.
Let us know in the comments if you like those Sonic guys too.
Did you guys play Little League growing up?
Yeah.
I'm the only person that didn't. I didn't know you had to ask. I thought it just happened.
I didn't either.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Although,
no one else in my family asked. You all just got put in softball and Little League and stuff.
Maybe you did ask, but it just fell on deaf ears. We're good.
Yeah, I was like, please do not sign me up for this. It's so hot outside. But let's move it on to recasting. All right, recasting. Let's start at the bottom here. Jordan, do you have a list or do you just want me to go off mine?
Go off yours and I'll just join when I got
Let's
it.
just start with the grandpa real quick. That's a pretty big one. I did Donald Sutherland.
I get it. You went old.
Just
You
old.
could definitely see him dying.
Someone with a voice, someone who's going to say some epic things that are like, I feel like
You
I'm
know
about
what's
to die.
funny? You could have cast Donald Sutherland in that role in 1994, and you still could cast him in that role today.
True. That's true. I mean, he's had the same voice forever. I mean, that's part of it.
Well, I'm just saying he looked that old then, and he's probably in his 90s now. I'll give you mine. It's weird, but it's what I felt. I went old Jimmy Stewart, and I think I'd love it.
I mean, I like Jimmy Stewart, so it's hard for me to say no to that, but it's always hard for me to imagine something more contemporary.
It's true, but it sounds like you are saying no to that.
No, I actually like it now that I'm thinking. I mean, because it'd be old Jimmy Stewart, so I mean.
I'll throw you a side. I'll give you a throwaway one. I thought about Burt Lancaster from, Moonlight Graham, old Moonlight Graham.
Okay. Let's move it on to who'd you have as Hodges?
Robert. I did Robert Duvall.
Oh, nice. Sorry, Mark.
No, you're good.
I like Robert Duvall. That works for me. It's a little more
An old guy.
strict.
Just an old guy.
Plus he plays grandpas and he's in The Natural. Good baseball movie,
True. Did anyone have Bowers? Bowers is the kind of funny one who is in.
Yeah, I got a weird one for you.
Go ahead.
I got Woody Harrelson.
Okay.
Harrelson.
Woody
sorry.
Harrelson. I could see that. I did.
I think he'd be a good wacky pitcher.
I did it to 10, and I did Harlan Williams from like Half Baked.
That's too much.
You may know him also from what's the Rocket Man?
Rocket Man. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch, but
Side note, I just saw it in Angels in the Outfield. You see it? I like the wacky pitcher. I don't know why all these sports. I mean, I guess it's just a prototype. I like the offbeat pitcher.
You got to have one in all those '90s movies. Did you do his friends? Anybody?
No.
I have two.
I think you already heard mine.
I have two kids written down, but I mean, I don't know who they are, so it looks like I looked up some kid actors and wrote some names down. So I'm going to skip the friends.
I thought about doing that, but I truly think that if you just de-aged those two comedy duo from the Sonic commercials, those two really funny motherfuckers, it'd be those guys.
God, you love them. Arthur, the
Which baseball movie is Busey in?
Rookie of the Year. He's the pitcher
Okay.
with the blood.
I can't remember if it's Angels.
He's the one that's going to fuck his mom.
Yeah. Once you're at the end of your career, you're like, I gotta find somebody
I got to fuck someone's mom.
I gotta fuck somebody's mom.
I got to find a home. Did you guys do Arthur, the co-owner, the dad from Transformers?
Yeah, I got a good one for that. Oliver Platt. And in fact, I think I'd love that one.
And that's in his time frame. I'd love that. I'm good with Oliver Platt.
This is to me like the sweet spot for Platt's career.
Mark, who'd you say?
I did Newman.
Oh, that works.
That makes sense, yeah.
I like Oliver Platt a lot, though.
Because that's more fun and playful, which that guy is. He's charming, which that works.
Yeah, see, that could be the guy that's bad in this, and I suppose it isn't Rookie of the Year, but there's really no bad character in this movie.
I did David Stratham. That's more like heartwarming and gentle, but not so much like charming.
I'll just have to see who that is.
He's like the manager, or he's like the money.
Oh yeah,
He's in a league of their own.
We Are Marshall.
Oh yeah, I love that dude.
Yeah, I know, but that might be a little too soft and delicate and gentle as opposed to like charming. You know what I mean?
Could he be a sneaky good grandpa?
Yeah, now that could work.
Yes.
Actually, that'd be a great grandpa.
Very good grandpa.
That might be the best one that we said.
Agreed. I actually like that. How about the mom? Who'd you guys do for the mom?
Susan Sarandon.
Works for me.
I definitely thought of that. I definitely thought of that.
Kept it 90s.
A little bit of looks wise.
Kept it 90s. I did Holly Hunter.
I like Susan Sarandon better. I went Julianne Moore.
Again,
We all did a looks like.
Yeah.
What we really needed to do was find someone like this mom, but you don't know who that actress is by name. So we all went with someone who we do know.
Yep, that's pretty much what we usually do for
Like,
the mom
how can
roles.
I mean, I guess I could have just said whoever plays the mom in Mighty Ducks. To me, they're the same person.
Yeah, that could have worked for me. Any of the 90s moms. Who'd you guys have as Mac?
I did Favreau.
Oh, right. Okay, Mac. Favreau? Okay. That would work. I did Fred Ward, who might have just passed away recently. He's from Tremors.
Oh,
he's co-starring with Kevin Bacon.
So I've missed this from you the whole time, but fuck it, I'm just gonna do Danny McBride.
Okay, that works for me.
Do I think he's a good one? But just eastbound and down specific. Just do it.
That makes sense. I mean, he was baseball throw
just
man.
do it.
Who'd you guys have as Lou?
I'll go first. I just straight up did Kevin Costner. Throw him in any baseball movie. I'm great. He's got I'm gonna F your mom vibes. I'm in.
I'm totally cool with that. I think you're going to like mine because honestly, I was just looking for somewhere to put him because I saw him in something recently. But Gary Sinise, he's going to fuck that mom.
Ooh, that one's good.
Right?
Yeah.
He looks like it looks like he could play
small stature.
Yeah. It looks like he could play baseball.
I didn't have one for him. I don't know why. He slipped my mind. But I'm going to do the charming fellow from Bridesmaids, the Irish lad.
Oh,
I like that. He's
Chris
actually got the
O'Dowd.
Yes, Chris O'Dowd.
Yeah, I like him. He's very charming. That's fine.
He's got all-time I'm gonna F your mom vibes. That's what I want to do.
John
Is that our Mount Rushmore? Yeah,
Also.
John Hamm. John Hamm does have.
Or more so like my mom wants to F him, if anything else. Who'd you guys have as Billy? Let's just top us out with the main star.
I did an even Stevens Shia.
Okay.
LaBeouf.
That works with me.
That makes sense.
I kept it with someone who might have a crazy knowledge for something and be dead in the eye. I kept Tobey Maguire. Doesn't it seem like that's someone who has an inside out of baseball mechanics and be like, no, what happened in the 1918 World Series was, and then no.
I mean, I can picture how he would do it. Yeah, it's like every
Little Mitchie from Dazed and Confused. How about that,
I
Cameron?
did think about it honestly because I think this kid isn't. I was gonna honestly do that kind of as a joke, but
I feel like that would be your guys' recasting because you really dislike this kid. I've definitely done it before, but I'm gonna do Fred Savage because he seems earnest and pompous enough to think he could manage a team.
This would be a good
I
one
can
for him,
definitely
actually.
see him in the I got too busy for my friends stage too because Kevin Arnold was such a tray slamming little whiner.
Yeah, he's a real whiner. He would tell adults how to act. I feel
Well,
like
when your only friend is Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer ended up being kind of cool, man. Smart. He ended up having sex with a college chick when he was in high school. Pfeiffer was the bomb. Let's move it on to Mount Rushmore, top 4.
Mount Rushmore, top 4.
Welcome back to Mount Rushmore, top 4. Because this movie had so many great sport athlete cameos, we're doing our favorite athlete cameos in movies. Jordan's going first this week. Jordan, what's your favorite cameos?
Okay, so mine, athletes playing themselves or version themselves. I'm going Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Airplane. See, I didn't know if anybody would take it, so I wanted to make sure it got said.
As far as cameos go, that
was my
one
first one.
strikes as kind of like one of the funniest. Just a surprisingly funny one.
Yeah, because I mean, he sort of is playing himself, but it's a good joke in the movie. Like, it plays harder than a lot of these other ones do. So that was mine.
That's a
the
good one
I
to
took.
take. Mark, you're up next. What's your favorite athlete cameo?
So I could go easy here, but I'm going to go Derek Jeter in Anger Management.
I thought about that one. Funny enough, though, I also thought about Derek Jeter in another one. This isn't mine, but just throw away. Derek Jeter and the other guys isn't
other
bad
guys?
either.
They're
He's made a
equally
couple
funny.
cameos that are pretty good. Mine's going to be a little interesting, but I'm going to take John McEnroe from Mr. Deeds, the tennis
Nice.
player.
Oh,
He just plays.
I like
Just
that
plays
one.
an angry version of himself.
You know how to have a good time, Johnny Mac. That I do. I didn't even think about that one. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was
one.
a fun, surprising one. So with ours out of the way, let's kind of list some honorable mentions for our number 4. I feel like we should say LeBron James and Trainwreck. I'm not even saying the new what's it called?
The new Space Jam.
Jam.
I mean,
you
you
gotta
could
mention Space
Yeah,
Jam.
but I will. But he was funny and good in Trainwreck, so that actually is an honorable mention. Whereas the other one is just a movie. Well, that's just a movie.
Shout out
That's
to
just a
Marty Stoudemire
That's just a
in
movie
Trainwreck.
he's in. You know what I mean? Space Jam. Whereas the other one is a cameo.
But I think that Space Jam 1, all the cameos from the other players count.
I would agree with that. Anyone who's not Michael Jordan.
Actually, as a comedy duo, Bill Murray and Larry Bird worked for me in that movie quite a bit.
They're pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, they might be the best part of that movie entirely.
In the movie Dodgeball, we have 2. We have Lance Armstrong and we have Chuck Norris. The Chuck Norris one's just a thumbs up, but that one's funny. I mean, obviously, Dan Marino and Ace Ventura, the pet detective one. That's big from our age group. This one's always kind of weird. Brett Favre and Something About Mary at the end when he's just the boyfriend.
I totally forgot about
right?
that. Yeah, he just showed. Yeah,
It's just Brett Favre.
Well, they always talk about her boyfriend that got like this star football player, and then it just ends up being Brett Favre. Here's a sneaky one. You may not remember. Do you remember the movie Friends with Benefits? It's got
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, Sean White's in that. and he plays like a dick version of himself.
Oh yeah,
Kinda
that's
funny.
actually
Is
kind
that the Mila Kunis?
Yeah, the Mila Kunis
that one's actually kind of
Because
funny.
there's another one that came out just around then too. That was the exact same movie.
Oh yeah, that one's with like
It's
Ashton
Complicated or
Kutcher.
something.
Yeah, it's like the exact. That's your. If those are our two movies, the one that doesn't have Mila Kunis is our Little Big League for sure. The one
Does that make
does
it
is
better
Rookie
or
of the Year.
worse? I'm confused by your rating system.
I'm talking how you guys do it. It's the forgotten one.
Much appreciated. We have Tom Brady in Ted 2. I don't recall him being necessarily funny in it, but he's in it. I mean, pretty much any movie that's based on that sport, you're probably going to have an athlete cameo. So let us know out there some of your favorite cameos that we might have missed out there. And thanks for listening to our take on Little Big League. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. You can find us on social media at Cult Classics Pod. And if you want to help support the station, you can go to patreon.com/Cult Classics Pod to subscribe for premium content. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll check you on the next one.